So you've decided to leave the United States, but you're like, where do I go? The world is so vast. I don't know what to do. You're going to use astrocartography. First, you'll go to astro.com, then you'll click the 3 bars if you're on your phone. Basically, expand the free horoscopes section and then click on locational astrology. If you're a new user, you'll have to input your birth data first, but if you've been using this website, you likely have an already established database. Click Astro Travel and you'll get something like this. Ta-da! I know this looks overwhelming, and if you're not super familiar or super comfortable using astrocartography, don't worry, you'll get the gist of this. So essentially, we have these energetic lines all over the globe showing us very specific and distinct planetary energies all mapped out for you to see, so you can read the chart, read the map to understand which energies you might be inviting or working with when you move to a specific location. Some lines will be easier to be around, while others will be more challenging. Certain places will feel like home right away, even though you've never been there. Other places might feel heavy and you might feel stuck. Yet other locations will prompt you into a deeper healing mode. It really just depends on what you are looking for and the condition of your own natal chart. Let me show you a few examples so we can go through this. I know it's cut off at the top, you can't see the name, but this is Trump's astrocartography map. And look what we have here. His Mars ascendant line is going through Washington. This is literally his seat of power, where he feels most dominant, most assertive, and most powerful. Mars ascendant line pushes the Martian energies outward, so it means more aggression, more assertiveness. A person living on this line taps into their energies of being more direct and less compromising. Because Mars is not about compromise, right? Mars is about doing, it's about accomplishing and being warrior-like. This line has a very fortifying effect on the ego and brings out a person's competitive qualities. This line can also promote lack of consideration for others and argumentativeness. Being on this line can also lead to injuries and accidents because Martian energies on the ascendant can promote hastiness or fire now and aim later type of decision making. Some will love being on this line. More Martian people will love this feeling of having a lot of drive. And for others, this might feel like too much. If someone is having more spiritual, inner type of pursuits, this will be too much physical energy, too much physicality to this location. Now look at Zoran Mamdani's map. He is the new mayor of New York, and he's got 2 major lines going through the area. And by the way, you don't have to be exactly on the line to receive the benefits. The general consensus, there's not like an established rule on how far or close to the line you have to be to receive the benefits or the influences of the line. Generally, it's around 500 miles to either side of the line, so he falls well within that radius. With this line here, the North Node MC line, this is a very powerful location for him. It's like a destiny path forward. He's meant to be here. A person being on this line will feel like they are achieving their soul destiny. Being here is aligning with his higher purpose, with his soul's evolutionary growth and potential. And his soul growth merge with the public ambition depicted on the MC line. This is not a shrinking violet location. This is very much stepping into your destiny and doing so in front of everybody, for the whole world to see, for your entire community to see. Right here, he also has Neptune MC line. Neptune MC line brings an element or energy of spirituality, idealism, empathy, and even artistry in a sense, which is visible through his artistic wife. She is very much an inspiration for him. She is his muse. The downside of a Neptune line, something to be aware of if you are moving to one of these, is that Neptune can bring lack of clarity into your life. It can wash out boundaries and perceptions. and there can be misunderstandings. Neptune's energy is subtle and it can take time to unfold, to really show up in a person's life when they move on their Neptune line. But at its best, this location can help a person overcome their egoic needs, help tune into their spiritual side, and open a person to a greater compassion, a greater feeling of oneness. There can even be a greater attunement for the suffering of others, and a person here can be prompted to acts of selfless service, like through charity and helping others, helping the homeless, at its best manifestation. This line is great for spiritual unfolding, but it can be difficult to gain material wealth on a Neptune line, unless you have other factors mitigating that. I think it's super interesting that he has his North Node, his soul's higher purpose, and idealistic spiritual Neptune that values unity, selfless service, and we all know what people have been calling him, the C word that ends with ist. But on a personal level, if you're exploring your energetic lines, Neptune lines are not for everyone. If you're not a heavily Neptunian or even a little bit Neptunian, these lines can be really challenging because they can be super confusing and they can prompt too much introspection. Like if you're type A and you're in a phase of your life where you still really want to be a type A, where you are like very outwardly achievement oriented, this line can be funky. You may feel like you lack direction or even energy. You may feel like you're moving through fog and the energy is very misty and undefined. On the other hand, if you're very comfortable with Pisces energy, Neptune, 12th house business, you could love it here. It's amazing for creative pursuits, spiritual development, connection with the higher self, the other realms, developing your psychic gifts. But the danger here, even for someone who is comfortable here, is again losing your direction in life. You can just feel kind of like you're floating through life in a weird little cloud. Just something to be mindful of. In the case of Zoran Mamdani, I don't think Neptune is going to be too nebulous, too confusing for him, because he is assisted by his North Node line here as well, which will be his guiding star. Also, moving to your MC midheaven line can be really great for someone in the public eye. It's amazing for politicians, people who deal with the public. If you want a quiet, cozy existence, maybe you're being very introspective, you might look into more of an IC line. The natal chart should also be taken into account when trying to understand the energies of these